Sorry, I know I'm a little bit early. I'm a minute early. I apologise for being a minute early because hello, Karl, with the winky face. Yeah, do you know what? I always, when I do these, it takes that shot. I always have to think to myself, you can't, you're standing up. So I have to do something daft, and it always, anyway, it never comes out. Right. Hey, Lewis, how are you, mate? Andrea, how are we all? Oh, there's lots of people coming in. This is lovely, lovely. Hello, Chloe, how are you, my love? I haven't seen you for ages. Hope you're well. Do you think we spirits... Oh, hang on. Do you think we see spirits walking around us all the time and we just don't realise it? Do you know, that's I'm chilled out. Do you know, I've said that myself. A lot of people say, oh, I've never seen a ghost. You think, oh, how do you know? I wonder how many times things just happen, and we can be walking on the street, we can be walking, we can see something in a car, and maybe they are actually dead people that we're looking at sometimes. How do we know? Hello, Norway. Well, Scarborough, North Yorkshire. I do like a bit of North Yorkshire. Hello from Hawaii. Wow. Aloha. Beautiful place, Hawaii. I haven't been there for many, many years. Hello from Virginia. Again, Virginia. Love Virginia. Love the Blue Ridge Parkway and all of that. Oh, God, I had some fun there. A lot of fun. In fact, a little bit, probably too much. Staffordshire Moorlands, Holland, Somerset, Wolverhampton. Well, we're all coming in from anyway. I've seen a tall black shadow go through my house before. That's from Elizabeth Whittlesea. Well, do you know what? If you see her, we've got somebody from California. We've got a friend of ours from California over at the moment as well. From LA, which is lovely. Grimes, everyone's from everyone. Do you know, I'd imagine it's it must be one of the most off-putting things, but if you start to see just some sort of dark figure going from room to room in your own house, especially if you're not expecting it, or the house isn't that old, so you don't think it should be haunted, which is kind of... Good evening, Gwen, and thank you very much. All the family are fine and everything. Emma, Karl, are you a fan of Ghost Adventures? Never watched it? I don't even know what it is. Oh yeah, I'm assuming it's a paranormal show. Hi from Sandbach. Wow. Hi from Sandbach. You're only down the road from me. Nell, you're only down the road from me. Quick tech question. Right, Will, quick tech question. What is your experience the best way to use an EMF meter, either static or mobile? Confused Hemels Hempstead. Do you know what, Will? I think providing there is no actual electromagnetic forces within an area, it doesn't matter whether they're static or whether you move them around. There are some that are quite sensitive, so if you put them down, they'll go off. But it'll only be a quick jog, and they may go up to red or whatever, and back again. But it doesn't really matter. But the whole point with EMF meters is to do it very gently anyway, and slow moving motions. And don't be afraid to keep checking, you know, because we've had it before where we put some on the floor and they were going off. And I know people saying the clock behind me is wrong. Look, it's wrong. The clock's wrong. It's wrong. It was wrong yesterday when Mary was doing her bit. It's still wrong today. It's just wrong. It's broken. It doesn't work. But we had an EMF on the floor. We had a couple, and sort of three in a row, sort of 6 inches apart. And there's two on each side were doing a little bit. One of them kept going off, and it just happened to be going off as we were asking questions. So we moved them all just to test, and none of them went off. So we knew it wasn't paranormal because we just thought if it was paranormal that they'd constantly go off. But in this instance, it was an electric cable running under the floor. So at least if you're picking them up and moving them gently, you're changing where the area is, and you can always test if there's cables and all that kind of stuff. I hope that answers your question, mate. The clock's changed. Yeah, well, the other one fell off. It broke, and so we're broked. I remember using EMF at Croxteth Hall with you. It was amazing. They were going off one after the other. Yes, that was superb. And again, across the hall, we knew there was no power going to a specific area, so we knew there couldn't be any interference by electrical power. So we ran these EMF meters, and it was just like somebody running towards us. Yeah. Evening, Michael. How are you? Do you know what? Actually, yeah. Of course, I forgot about the Shepherd's Hut. For all of those who joined me when I was down in the Shepherd's Hut, thank you very much. It was an eventful night. I tried to get to come back on, but my battery was drained. There was a couple of times I thought I could hear somebody walking outside, so I went to have a look, but there was no one there, no physical person anyway, and that was a little bit disconcerting. So it took me a long time to get back to sleep. And of course, you had there's always a lot of movement with animals and all of that lot going on. So I didn't get a lot of sleep, but I'm going to put it up on the YouTube channel. We've got some great stuff with the, I mentioned it before, where we've got some great stuff with a couple of foxes. We caught a little squirrel, and we caught, hello Dawn, how are you? Gorgeous. And we caught our badgers as well. So I've left the camera running again, which is what you saw if you watched me go down to the Shepherd's Hut. And I've left it running since then. I spent the night and I came back the next day, and I've left it running. So I'm going to pick it up tomorrow night and see if we caught any more. I hope we have, because it was fantastic seeing stuff. Tina Davis, hi Karl, I've been watching loads of Most Haunted. They've been so good. Oh, bless you. It's funny, isn't it? You look back at some of them, and you my beard looks like a badger. It's a dead badger. It's no beard. I haven't grown a beard. I just skinned one of our badgers and wearing it on my chin. Hi Karl, please say hi. Oh, now you'll have to help me to pronounce that, my friend. It's from Greece, and I want to be respectful and give a really big hello to Yauli. Please tell me, can you just get the actual pronunciation and pass it through to me? Because I really want to say hello to your girlfriend. And thanks very much for coming in and chatting to me from Greece. Let us know what the actual pronunciation, because I want to say it properly. I want to say hello to it properly. Now, I am thinking of shaving off my beard. I was going to do it this week, but one of the friends of mine said, absolutely not, no way, don't do it. I don't know. It's getting a bit, I just can't be bothered with dealing with it. It's getting all a bit beardy. Did you know that? Yes, I did know Peter Cushing was in Chump at Oxford. That's why one of the cup that I had last week was a Chump my Laurel and Hardy cup. It was a Chump at Oxford cup. It was one of his first big breaks. I mean, how great is that to actually say I worked with Laurel and Hardy. I mean, Laurel and Hardy are my two favourite comedians of all time, on a level par with Morecambe and Wise. Right, Morecambe and Wise are great. It's the last time we had decent comedy, I think, in this country. In that respect, in this country, of people actually telling jokes and that kind of variety performance. I'm not saying that all the other stand-up comedians are great, but it's a different thing. Right, Laura S said, don't shave, it really suits me. If you're getting fed up with it, just give it a trim. Do you know what? I actually have got a trimmer, or maybe I just use it. Hello from Hertfordshire. Hello, Hertfordshire. How are we all? Karl, are you classed as non-essential business? Everything I've done in my life has been non-essential. Now, we are looking at going and doing a live, because Yvette and I can go, obviously, because we live together, for those of you who didn't know. But we're thinking of trying to get one, maybe get Stuart involved. So, but with Stuart, we've got to have obviously that 2 metre distance. So we are looking at doing one. I'm just working it out. So it's going to be good for you guys watching, because obviously at the moment we can't have a full setup because it takes more people to actually get the setup and make it run and switch from camera to camera. So we're going to be having one camera now. Obviously at Accrington, we've got lots of cameras, so we're going to try and work away. I'm probably going to go down there next week to see if we can have people in different areas and see if it works. But yes, we are working on that. Ollie, did you see the figure of the lady in the torchlight when you investigated Delaprey Abbey? Did I? I can't remember. It was like the attic light room. Delaprey Abbey. I can't even remember what Delaprey Abbey was like. I really can't. I'm sorry. Hello, Danny May. How are you, darling? Shout out for Lorraine, please. Lorraine, yeah, shout out. The range, that's where you can buy the same clock, is it? Wolverhampton. Do you ever have people volunteer or offer internship? Yes, Felicia, we do. We're very. Does Fred have a girlfriend? Many. Not so much girlfriends, they're OAP friends. They're willing to change him. No, I don't know at the moment. I think Fred's Fred. He doesn't like to be tied down. Always open to offers. Hello. Yeah, we do have internships, and we do offer the trouble with our internships, and we don't have volunteers as such, only purely because I believe that people should be paid. Laura S, what car do I drive? Oh, it's a difficult one. Right. Right, hang on. Her name is... Right. Hi, say hello to my girlfriend. Her name is Yuli. Please, she's a massive fan. Wow. That's from Eland. What's that? Oh, come on, Karl. Get your act together. That's from Lund Danefo. I know you live in Greece, and I'm going to do this the best I can, my friend. But Yuli is hello to Yuli, and I hope I pronounced that right. And thank you so much for joining in. Yeah, so back to the internship. Yeah, so we do the prize. You can imagine a lot of people like Most Haunted, so it's quite we have a lot of people coming into it, and a lot of people on the books for it, and we can't. It's one of those things that we're usually booked up 2 or 3 years in advance. But keep in touch and let me know if you're interested, and I'll just put your name on the list. Yeah, from Sheffield. Many people who work on horror films have reported experience on and off set. What do you think about this, Karl? Do you know what, Kimberly? There's lots of horror movies that, like you say, have people. People say that they have experiences because of what they're doing, and I wonder whether it's the energy of anything that's going on there, because they're whatever's there is seeing stuff happening, and a horror movie happening is probably getting involved, and I believe it. Yeah, Dawn, I've just this is from Dawn Butcher. I've just booked up to meet you and Stuart October 2021 at Chillingham. Can't believe, great location. It is a great location, Chillingham. I've been there a few times. That was the first. Shoot that we ever did after getting the commission. We obviously did the pilot, which we sold we got the commission on, and then after that we that was the first one we did. It wasn't the first one they showed, but it was the first one we did. So magic I tell you. Hi from King's Lynn. I love King's Lynn. What's my scariest experience been? It's still, for me, it's still going to the mother-in-law's house. No, I think, I still think collectively for a whole investigation, we did 2 nights there with Standard Hall. I just think that was what happened there was just, it was just a constant thing. And then again, I mean, Leopardin, a lot happened, but for me, Leopardin wasn't as scary. I don't think kids laughter and all that kind of stuff, but it just wasn't as scary. Standon Hall was a very, very scary place for me. It really was. What's my favourite? What do I think about the EVP, the Birmingham Lockup, the woman crying? I think it's fantastic. I think for those of you who haven't seen the Birmingham Lockup episode, we had the EVP running, and we got, I think, the best EVP we've ever got. It was a woman crying, saying no, 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 and it's not on any other cameras. Now, if somebody actually had said that, then it would have been on the cameras. So I think I just think that's the best the best one we've ever got. What's your favourite Laurel and Hardy film? It's Murder. So we've been through this, and I never remember the bloody title. Oh, hello, Bonnie, Scotland. Can't wait to get back to Scotland. I love Scotland. Yeah, so I can't remember what it's called, but it's where they go to. They think they're going to inherit a fortune off of somewhere, and there's just a bit in there where they think the house is haunted. Yvette and I have watched it so many times, and it never ever fails to have us actually creasing up on the floor. Brilliant. Murder Case Book. Is that what it's called? Murder Case Book? I can't remember. I would ask Yvette, but she's in the other room. Well, we miss you so much as well. It is Murder Case Book. Ian Kirkpatrick says it's Murder Case Book. Murder Case. I think it's Murder. Yes, see, James Rendell's on there. When James Rendell knows everything, it's the Murder Case. James Rendell knows everything. Everything. Laura is very lucky to have James in her life, because anything that goes on, he's right. He knows everything. And the great thing, I think Laura knows that. And that's good in a relationship, to have one person that's always 100% correct. Isn't it, James? Do you think, this is Leona, do you think child ghosts are creepy? Yes, I do. I think there's something more frightening and more creepy and more eerie about a child ghost than there is about an adult ghost. And I think maybe it's, maybe for me, it's because kids aren't supposed to die. They're not supposed to, and they're kids are wonderful things. They're full of imagination. They're full of wonder. They're full of they're not being bruised by life. So everything's fun to them, and for that to be cut short is a horrible thing. So I think Charles Ghost is this is eerie. Right. Yvette's always right, isn't she, Karl? Oh, Yvette's always right, 100%. I'm never. It's weird, because I used to be right when I was single. I was right. I know I was right because I made decisions and they were right. But then I got married, and apparently nothing. I'm wrong. There is not one decision I've ever made has been right. I just don't. Do you still put Christmas presents for your child ghost? We do. Every year we give little Christmas presents. We got a couple of children who haunt this place, and so we give them a little we give them little prezzies at Christmas. It's just one of those things. Hey, Karl from Ireland. This is from Lisa Dorr. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Lovely. If you had to be put into a lockdown with 3 celebrities, who would you pick? Well, I've been in lockdown with one, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Not including my gorgeous wife, I would say. That's a difficult one. See, dead people is easy. Live people. Stephen Fry. I'm a huge fan of Stephen Fry. I think he's a lovely man. I've met him on numerous occasions when I've worked with him, and he's always been an extremely lovely man. Extremely lovely man. Because I think he's one of those people I could go out for a dinner with and just have him talk. I could just listen to him. And he's so intelligent. I'm just trying to think who else will have. I suppose Lee Evans would be great. Not just because he's a comedian, because he's had such a great life and a diverse life. It's someone that would be really good to talk to. I don't know. I'm just trying. I'm clutching at straws. I'll probably think of people in a minute that I'll go, no, them. But probably Mick Jagger as well, because I think I'd love to know more about him, because what a life he's had. Lee would be fab when I go something. Yeah, Lee would be fab when I go something. How's your friendly sheep? Punches. It's not punched, honest. It is. No, it's not. It's not punched. It's not punched. Because I've fixed the punch and blown it back up again. No, I haven't. It's fine. It's still got all the air in it that it needs to have. Wow. David Attenborough, do you know what? Brilliant. Kyle, what a great David Attenborough. I mean, what a brilliant man that would be to talk to. All right. I just need that cup of tea then. Right, hang on. Tony Clark. Please go say happy birthday to Lara from Bristol. Lara. There you go. Happy birthday, Lara, from Bristol. It's your birthday tomorrow. I'll have a great day. I really do hope you have a great day. I know, Tony. Spoil your on. Should do. Everyone should spoil your on. You know, Anita, I do need another cuppa, but Yvette won't. She just won't. She won't. You know, before we were married, she'd have got me a cuppa. Just used to me now. I'm just the old git in a corner. Just used, thrown away like a wet old flannel. What's your favourite Elvis song? My favourite Elvis song is If I Can Dream. It's on my funeral list. It's I just think it's a song filled with absolute hope, and the way Elvis sings it, no one can touch it. Absolutely brilliant. That's my favourite song. I've got loads of songs I love, but that's probably my favourite. Cliff Richard, it would be fun. Now, actually, I've interviewed Cliff Richard years and years ago. I was watching a documentary. I must have been 17 because I was driving. And I remember I used to go to church then before I got thrown out. Yeah, I did. I got thrown out. But and I watched some documentary, and they said that apparently Cliff Richard is one of the most inaccessible of all stars. Hi, Flying Kiwi, how are you? And so I thought, well, in that case, at 17, I was going to try and get to him just to say hello. And so I wrote a few letters, never returned. And so I wrote another one saying I wanted to do an article from a church newsletter. And he responded and said, yeah, you can. So I went up and met him and interviewed him for our church newsletter. Yeah, that was that. Nice bloke, very nice guy. And I have to say, I've got a lot of respect for people like him who's been in the industry and survived it and come the other side, still successful, still with his money and his, still intact, because he's, there's lots of people of that era who lost everything and ended up with absolutely nothing. So yeah. Did I go to the cathedral in Guildford? Yes, that's where the Omen was done. I remember I was at school when the Omen was being filmed, and we watched a limo going past with oh God, how bad is it? Who's the main actor in it? That is so bad that I've forgotten his name. I love his movies too. Anyway, they went past, and a big old black limo went past our school, because our school wasn't that far from that, and we all went, whoa, they were filming. And obviously we realised it was for the... Lots of people coming up with Elvis songs. American Trilogy, absolutely brilliant. Do you know, is it a tribute to Martin Luther King? I did not know that. And if that's the case, it makes it even, for me, better, because one of the things I absolutely love about Martin Luther King, it's something, obviously, over recent weeks we seem to have lost, is peaceful protest. And I think he'd be turning his grave if you saw what people were doing over the past couple of weeks. And I think it's extremely sad. A man there who devoted his life to peace and did so much great work for the unity of all of us. Gregory Peck, that's it. Sorry, thank you very much. Someone who's against all kinds of racism, against every single race, not just one. I'm against racism globally, and I do have this, probably, it's a bit hippie in me that believes one day we will get rid of it, but you can only get rid of it with intelligence and respect, and neither of those two things have been shown, in my opinion, in the past couple of weeks. Certainly not the respect thing. And I just think, I've seen on Twitter, I'm going to be coming off Twitter for a bit. I know Yvette has, because she's disgusted with some of the stuff that's happened, and I'm going to be coming off of social media for a little while, only for a week, just to clear my head away from it, really, because you watch people who put on there, which I believe all life matters. I don't believe we should single out any specific race for any life matter. I think all life matters, as it does. All life is sacred, and how a term that is so inclusive, it's the most powerful term I think anyone can use, and yet someone will put that down on social media, and you get these absolute prunes who will sit there and say that's racist, and it's not. We every life matters means every single life on this planet matters. Hi Ontario, Erika, and that's one thing. It's so dear to me, that, I mean, any kind of racism in itself is, again, anyone with any intelligence can fight any racist argument, because there isn't an intelligent argument to do with racism. It's stupidity. At the end of this, take all this away and we've all bones. And regardless of race, colour and creed, if you were dying, it doesn't matter who's trying to save your life, as long as somebody is. But I think we have it in all of us, to love each other. I mean, you look at all the devastation and the cost of the damage that's been caused. Now, do these people think that they've done any good with it? They haven't. They've lost an awful lot of support. They really have. I know there was they were talking about how many people have walked away from a certain movement because of this violence, and I do not agree with any kind of violence at all. It's inexcusable. But I just think that all these councils that are already hard pushed are going to have to pay to have all the damage that these people caused fixed. And who are the people that are going to suffer the most? It's the people who rely mainly on the council and all the social benefits and all the stuff, and all of the libraries and all of the meeting places and all of the good that they do is going to be stretched even more. So the people who are poor will become poorer because of it. That's just idiocy. If you cannot get your point across in a manner that is not connected to any violence, then you do not have a cause worth fighting for. You cannot fight for peace. It's like fucking for virginity. You can't do it. Peace is something that is there. We all have it in us to be peaceful. I don't know why people can't understand that, and for people to be pilloried for writing #AllLivesMatter and being called racist. The people who do that are the racists. They're the people who have a go at these people, are the people who are being racist, because all lives matter is inclusive. Racism is exclusive. It excludes people. Anyway, I'm not going to go on because this is a huge thing, and I'm disgusted with what's gone on, and very so many ill-informed people are pretending they're informed. And the sad thing is, on social media, and this is one of my biggest bugbears with social media, is a lot of people will not put in, they will not write on social media what they truly mean or what they truly feel. What they'll do is write to get more likes. They'll write because they believe somebody else is getting likes, so they'll jump on that bandwagon. And they're too afraid. They're too afraid to say what they truly feel, and what, because of the ridicule they may get and the pillorying they find. And the sad thing is, that's the death of freedom of speech. And anyway, I'm going to stop that because I could go on. That's probably a whole chat on its own. Maybe we should do a chat on the rights and wrongs of Britain, or the world, I should say. Michael Head, if you had a bucket list and ticked off most haunted, is there anything else you'd like to accomplish in your life? Wow, that's a good question. I think I'm very lucky. I've done everything I thought I ever wanted to do, and a lot more. And so I think, I suppose I have a number one record. That's the only thing that's probably the only thing I've not done that I'd kind of like to have done. I'd like to experience that. What it'd be like to somebody say your record was no number. Well, then again, we don't have a number one anymore, do we? It's all, I don't know, a load of crap in the music industry at the moment. No one knows what the fuck's going on. So anyway. Oh, bless you, Hazel. I do love singing. I'm shit at it, but I do love singing. See, Yvette has got wow, what a voice she's got. And in fact, in our front room at this present moment in time, there are three people who have got stupendous voices. There's three people. There's William, who's Yvette taught to sing, and it is just remarkable. I mean, his voice is just remarkable. And there's a friend from Los Angeles, and she has a tremendous voice. And there's Yvette, who's also got a tremendous voice. Now, I love it when Yvette sings, because sometimes if she doesn't know I'm here, she just lets go, and I can be in another room, and I'll just sit down and listen to her. She just, and I wish she had the confidence, because she should release a record. She really should, because she's got such a powerful, powerful voice. And anyway, that's just about. I know I'm a little bit. If you could bring anyone back from the dead, who would it be besides Elvis? Hitler, so we could hang him. Have some fun killing him again. No, really, who would I bring back? Oscar Wilde, I think. Oscar Wilde. I'd love to know more. I said earlier, who I'd like to spend in lockdown with, and I think Oscar Wilde has there's so much myth about how his life ended and what his last words were. I mean, I don't know if anyone knows this, but apparently he died in Paris, and he looked at the room, and as he was looking around, he lifted his head and said, "This wallpaper is ghastly. Either it or I have to go," and then apparently died. Now, I want that to be the case, but I doubt that was his last words. But I'd love to talk to Oscar, because I think a remarkable man. Hi, Canada, how are you? That's from Erika. Would it go to Loftus Hall? Yeah, I'd love to go to Loftus Hall. Loftus Hall is brilliant. Krishna, Julia Ellis. You're so cute, Karl. Oh, bless you. Well, I agree. That has a great singing voice. She should do more with it. She should. She really should. Oh, bless you. A gorgeous romantic couple. I know you fall out on Most Haunted, but it's not real. Trust me, I get told off on a regular basis. I'm half the man I used to be. Because you took one of my testicles clean off. Come on, Bennett. Some of the stuff I say, I just... Who knows? Maybe I haven't got one testicle. Hi, Karl. Have you seen the vid on YouTube with a duet of Elvis and Celine Dion singing your favourite song? No, I haven't seen it. I'll have to look that out. Now, I do have a Celine Dion story. When I was a cameraman, I used to do the World Music Awards in Monte Carlo. And it was a great job, really fantastic job, because you'd have all these huge stars, Michael Jackson, just everyone. Madonna would be there, Celine Dion, and hang on, just when Tracy Fresh wants to tell my hubby spirits to exist. Tracy Fresh's hubby, Anthony, I'm looking right at you, Anthony. In fact, I'm going to point at you, Anthony. Anthony, spirits do exist. In fact, there's one behind you. We used to do different cameras, and one of the cameras I used to do was the handheld running around. And so when we used to do the rehearsals, at one point, I would sit in and just have the camera on my lap, because my bit was very audience based and performer based. So it would be performer to audience, audience to performer on this particular time. And Celine Dion was doing her bit, and she needed to. Her part was she was going to walk down and sing to Prince Albert, who was a great deal of fun. Prince Albert of Monaco, a lot of fun. Nice guy. I spent a few nights with him having a drink at the bar. Lovely man. And anyway, so I stood in for him, and they recorded it. So I've actually got just me sitting in this auditorium on my own with Celine Dion coming off the stage, walking down, and actually singing directly just to me. And that tape is somewhere. I can't find it, but it is somewhere. And as soon as I find it, it's going up on this YouTube channel. I can tell you that now, because it was great. Anyway, that was a boring thing, wasn't it? Right. Oh, hang on. What's that? What happened to your clock? Oh, Alex, clock went. It died. Hello from Llanberis, North Wales. Oh, I love North Wales. Llandudno is one of my favourite places in the world. Yeah, the clock just fell off the wall and didn't work, so we found this one. Stuck that up there, and that doesn't work either, as you can see, because it's not moved. Right, oh, we got Karl, I found your clock. Bridget, you found my clock? Where did you find the clock? Right, Rhiannon Davies. Hi, Karl. I work for the NHS, but been shielding because these chats have been kept me going. Oh, bless you. Been watching Most Haunted, and I look forward to ghost hunting with you when MHE starts up again. Yeah. Do you know what? I can't wait for MHE to start again. But one of the things people are worried about is because a lot of them we're not booking as many at the moment. Next year we are, obviously, but it's only because we just don't know. As soon as the okay is given, we will be booking straight away. So, there'll probably be a bit of a bum fight to get tickets for the first ones when they come back. But we will be booking as soon as and a lot of the places we're exclusive to will be the first that we use. So we will be having stuff, and I think what we're going to try to do is for some people is to do more in the week as well, just to so we can get as many ghost hunts as we can, because I've missed them like crazy. Hi, Julian Gerard, Casio in Shreveport, Louisiana. Oh, Louisiana. How is Louisiana? Because you've had it tough down that way, haven't you? The past a couple of decades, really. That was Louisiana. Well, I haven't been there for a long time. Probably 25, 30 years now. Have I met any British royalty? Yes, I've. I was on the as a cameraman. I was on the. There's a section of cameramen that sort of all passed by. Or there was then. It's probably not now, but we used to have to be passed by MI5 or MI6 or something. So we were always called if anything was going on with the royal family, because they knew we were okay. So I filmed the Queen. I filmed Princess Diana. Had an argument with Princess Diana because she was quite rude. I had Prince Charles a lot. Filmed with him many times. A very lovely guy, very respectful. And I've not met any of the new. I didn't do anything with William or anything because I think at that point I'd stopped really camera work. But Prince Philip, because one of the rules was you weren't allowed to film a royal with a drink in the hand. So every time you'd start filming him, he'd just pick a bloody glass up just to be a bit naughty. But it wasn't bad because everyone wanted to film the Queen, not him anyway. But that was that. But I've been very fortunate in that respect. I mean, there was one bit where there was 4 or 5 of us who were on the list, and we were working together in a job down in Maidstone Studios, and we all got a call because what happens if any of the royals die and you're on the list? If you get a call and you get booked out by the BBC for a couple of weeks, which means you cannot take any other jobs for 2 weeks. They buy you out for 2 whole weeks, but you don't get any information about who's died. And this one particular instance, we there's 4 or 5 of us, we all got the call at the same time saying you've been booked out. So we knew one of the royals had died, and we also assumed at the time it was the Queen Mother. So we all went down a betting shop, and we all put £200 each on the fact that the Queen Mother wasn't going to survive the weekend, because I think it was like a Wednesday, and so we put it on, and it wasn't the Queen Mother. she survived, bless her, for a little bit longer. But I did a funeral. But she's it was basically Prince Charles had to crash his car, and they weren't sure whether he was going to survive or not, and it was all top secret at the time. It's fine now, and so they put us on just in case he died. We could bury him. And a lot of people don't realise that when you see the coffins go off, they're not in there. It's just bags of sand because they've already been buried. And you've got to look at yourself is why, they say, well, why would you do that? But you think, if there is any stupid prune who wants to upset the apple cart of, I don't know, for some daft terrorist, whatever, wants to have a go at the royal family or cause a problem, you imagine if they offset the coffin and you got the Queen Mother rolling down Pall Mall, it wouldn't happen. So they're always buried beforehand. So when you look at all of the every single one of the royal funerals, they're already buried by the time they go. You're just watching it's just the ceremony you're part of, which is good enough. The Queen Mother's funeral, I was up 180 foot up a crane, which was, if I was invisible, what do you get up to? Oh, do you know you could make a fortune off snooker, couldn't you? If you were invisible, you'd have someone who wasn't invisible, and you just say, right, every single time you break, you're going to clear the table with one hit. You could make a fortune. You could absolutely make a fortune. In fact, there's not much sport you couldn't do. I mean, imagine golf. You just tap the ball at the beginning. If you're invisible, you pick the ball up and just run down the other end. Everything's a hole in one. That's what I'd probably do anyway. Do you like to cook? If so, what do you like cooking? Laura, that's a good question, Laura. I love cooking. It's a weird thing in our house is Yvette's the best cook here. She absolutely is, but she hates cooking. And I've got why do something you hate doing? So I do a lot of the cooking. which is only right because I enjoy it. I like to do sort of quesadillas, and I mean I'm not a great cook by any way, shape, or form, but I like to do I do a chicken curry. Obviously, I have a bean curry myself, and a corn and all that kind of malarkey. But I like to that. But Yvette does make the best lasagna ever in the world. So yeah, that's right. How did I find Princess Diana? To be honest, Gem, she was extremely rude, and I don't do rude very well, and I let her know that. And it was at the Prince's Trust at Wembley, and funnily enough, that was the concert where I first met George Michael, and we became mates. We weren't mates. We didn't go and visit each other, but we went out for a meal a couple of times, and lovely guy. But on the other hand, she was just very, very rude and a little bit obnoxious, if you don't mind me saying so. I know a lot of people love her and stuff, but I have a different view of her from that point of view. I'm certainly not saying she deserved what happened to her. Then again, what did happen to her? What happened to her? Would I go on Gogglebox? I don't know. I have to say, I know I'm in the minority here, and it, because it's a hugely successful show, but I think Gogglebox is the most ridiculous show ever. Is TV, the commissioners at Channel 4, are they so uncreative that they can't get a decent show where you can watch and enjoy the show? We now have to watch people watching a show that already exists. And I know it's funny, I know everyone likes it, but I just think it's probably the least creative, lazy show I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's just me. Obviously I'm mistaken because, anyway, would I do it? I don't know. I'll wait for them to ask, come up with that one. Karl, your beard is brilliant and amazing. Thank you very much, Katie. I don't know how to do this. Look. See, I can do this now. I'm starting to be able to do this. Look. Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Yeah, okay, stop being silly, Karl. George Michael is our all-time best. So jealous you met him. Killed me. Well, do you know the thing with George? He I was lucky to work with him on lots of different occasions, and un-celebrity people, certainly of his stature, that you could ever meet, lovely. If we went out for a meal, he could be in the middle of eating, and I mean I learned a lot from him, to be honest. A fan could come up because they were so in awe and they'd seen him, and it would ask him for his autograph. And I know I've seen celebrities tell people to bugger off, which is wrong. It's just wrong, because without these people, these celebrities wouldn't be celebrities. But he was always very kind. Would chat to people, let his dinner go cold. He would chat to people. He was just a lovely man. Very sensitive, very misunderstood, but just a huge shame, a huge loss, because good people like that we need on the planet, because we need the equilibrium of the planet between good and bad, and we need more good at the moment, I think. That's just. Are you allowed to tell us any royal secrets? No. I can't. I wouldn't say anything that I saw, but I wouldn't do that in telly anyway, because one, I'll be here all night, and two, there are certain. I mean, there's things you see, and the funny thing is when you hear things that have happened on a TV set, and then you see it reported in the paper, and you think that that's not what happened. And then you either see a retraction or something a bit later, but you just, It's bizarre. I mean, I happen to. I feel very privileged to be in positions, in that position. I always have. To work in telly, I've always felt privileged, but to be in positions where you see things that happen that no one else would see, and certainly no one else would believe half of the time, and situations. I mean, there's stories of people running naked through corridors of hotels. And if that ever came out, who that was, it would be bizarre. Anyway, did I ever meet David Bowie? I didn't. I was on camera interviewing David Bowie, but I never met him. I never really got to say hello to him. But every single person that worked with him, and he was so nice. And again, I think he's another one of that kind of rare breed that is just a nice human being. Never worked with Freddie Mercury. Again, that's one of those. It's one of those things that you wish you just had the opportunity, because that was a creative genius. I mean, wow, just brilliant. Hi Karl, Lauren Hardy's so funny. Have you ever watched Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Yes. I think that Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, I remember seeing it when I was younger, and the bit where she's given some food, but Bette Davis gives some food to her sister, and it's one has a dead budgie on it and another has a rat on there. It's just horrific, absolutely. Joan Crawford, isn't it? Bette Davis and Joan Crawford, and it's just horrific. Brilliant. I mean, I don't know if they were. I don't know if they got Oscars for it. I know they both deserved Oscars for it. Simon Persant, I bumped into Brian May. He was rude. Do you know what? It's funny with Brian May. I did again, I was very lucky to do the first ever 3D concert. It was on one camera, and it was me recording it, and it was Brian May. Brian May is very much into all this technology, and he was interested to see how this 3D thing worked. So we set it up for him, did his concert, and in those days you couldn't do. It's moved on now, but in those days you could only sort of zoom in and zoom out. You couldn't move the camera around because basically you had a red channel and or green channel and a red channel and blue channel, and they were just two cameras stuck together, and they crossed into one lens. And then after the concert, we all went downstairs and we played it back on this specific special screen. You could see 3D, and he loved it, and he bought the system there and then. And I've got to say, he wasn't. I mean, I didn't get time to really. I talked to him about the shots and about the camera, but I wouldn't say he was rude, but I wouldn't say he was over polite. I think he was a little bit up himself. But then again, I suppose when you're that famous, I guess you can be. I wouldn't have been, but it is what it is. Have I met Ricky Gervais? Yeah, I worked with Ricky before he was hugely famous on a show called 11 O'Clock Show. I've just seen Hayley's and can't say. Ricky Gervais, and he was clearly going places. He was just on a different league of funny then, and a really nice guy. And I'm glad he's got all the success that he has, because have you ever filmed or met Sandra Bullock? No, I haven't. Karen saying her husband went to the same school as Ricky Gervais. Ooh. Who's your favourite celebrity you've ever worked with, apart from Yvette? And what's the best job you've ever filmed? Oh, crumbs. Wow, that's a good question. Best job I've ever done. I think the most memorable was Michael Jackson at Wembley, I think. Purely because when you got 80,000 people screaming, I don't know. I think probably that's certainly the biggest, I think. My favourite celebrity I've worked with. That's a difficult one. Because again, it sounds like you're name dropping, but I'm so lucky to work with lots of different ones, and there are people who, became kind of friends. I mean, Sting, I worked with Sting loads of times, and you couldn't get a nicer human being. I mean, he went out of his way to help me out on a few occasions. A really nice guy. Again, Michael Jackson. I've got to know Michael. I worked with him many times, and great to chat to. Again, Madonna. Huge respect for Madonna. I think a lot of people like to have a go at Madonna because, for whatever reason, but you've got a woman there who's fought her way right to the top and stayed there for many years, and that in that industry, it's a huge thing. I've got a lot of respect for the lady. Again, George Michael, lovely guy. I mean, I had a cigar with Arnold Schwarzenegger once in LA, and that was quite remarkable. But I've worked with Arnold on many different shows, always chat shows, or the opening of Planet Hollywood. I was with. Sorry, I just not really answered your question, but it's a difficult one, to be honest. I've been watching, back-to-back carry-ons. Oh God, how many of the carry-on team have you met? Do you know what I did? I was actually at Pinewood. Yeah, it was Pinewood when they were filming Carry On Columbus. It didn't really work. I think there's some great comedians in there. I mean, Julian Clary was in it, and he's just brilliant. Julian Clary, I mean, cracks me up all the time. But absolutely great guy. I'd love to have met Sid James. I've met a few of them, and they're lovely people. But it's different. You remember it. The comedians and stuff here, they're not like they are now. They didn't get hundreds of thousands of pounds, showing and all this kind of stuff. They did things because they absolutely loved it. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Did you work with Sean Ryder on set? Yeah, we worked with Sean when we did Go Hunting with Happy Mondays, and I have to say, one of the most lovely people you could ever wish to meet. Lovely, lovely man, and all of them were the Happy Mondays. They were absolutely lovely. Not what you'd have expected. Funny enough, this is Sean. Sorry, Simon. This is Simon. Funny enough, I bumped into Roger Taylor at a wedding. He was a complete opposite, really nice. Yeah, I've never met Roger Taylor, but I've heard people say he's really nice and he's very happy to chat and all of that, which they should be, for crying out loud. Why shouldn't they? Was Michael Jackson as kind as he portrays? Yes, he was. Michael Jackson was, I can say, hand on heart. When I first met him, the first thing was, funny enough, it was in Monte Carlo. It was the first time I had a proper chat to him. I'd worked with him on a couple of things then, and obviously he'd seen my face, and so he kind of felt a little comfortable in the fact that he knew he'd seen me before. But this was the first time I had a proper chat, and I again was getting these shots from the centre of the arena, and it was Michael's time to do his rehearsal, and as he was as he was sort of getting prepared, he decided that he wanted to see his stand-in do it, and he wanted to see what it would look like, because it was quite a huge spectacle what he was going to do. And so they said fine, and they cleared everyone else out because it was always a close set when you work with Michael, and so anyone who didn't need to be there was gone. And I'm sitting there, and Michael sort of walks down, and he walks across, and he walks up this kind of side bit, and then he walks all the way down the thing and sits right next to me. And me being me, I just went, "You all right, Michael?" And he said, "Yeah, fine, thanks. How are you?" I said, "Very well, thank you very much." And one of his bodyguards couldn't get to me quicker. I mean, he was falling over the seats. I mean, literally falling over the seats trying to get to me. And he goes, "I'm going to have to ask you to move, sir." I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "I'm going to have to ask you to move, sir." I said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, Michael doesn't like people sitting next to him." So which I said, because I was sitting there first. It'd have been different if I'd sat next to Michael. I'd have gone, "Yeah, not a problem." But it was the other way around. So I said, "Well, you're going to have to ask Michael to move then." And, I had every right to be there because I was the cameraman. And Michael just leant forward and he said, "Will you just leave us alone?" And that was it. He walked away, and he just said, "They're always doing that." and we had a really nice chat. We watched his stuff. He asked me what I thought about it, like what I thought mattered. But just a lovely, lovely guy. And after that, we spoke on a few occasions when we worked together, quite a few, and it lovely man. I know someone's asked me just, do I think he was guilty of his convictions? He wasn't convicted of anything. He was found innocent. So, you've got to go through. People will speculate. No one, only people that were there will know. And at the end of the day, from what I know of Michael Jackson, he was a very kind, lovely guy. I think he didn't have a childhood and all of that stuff, but I think I just think he was a lovely guy. Different if he'd been found guilty, then fair enough, but he was found innocent, or certainly found not guilty, and that's that. Would I do a program with Chernobyl? I'd love to get over to Chernobyl. It's as you said, not guilty on all accounts, which says something. Same Freddie Starr, they crucified him. Yeah, they did. Who's your favourite actor to play James Bond? Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's weird how you like actors, but when you realise they're dicks, you find it difficult to watch anything. It's like, I can't watch a Bruce Willis movie, which is sad because there are some good movies with some great actors in it, but because he's in it, I can't watch it because the man is a complete dick, apparently. And you just think, and so I always used to think that Sean Connery was the best Bond. I always used to think he was. But then when you realise, he's not a great fan of the English, the country that made him famous, and gave him all of his millions to start with. The man who wants Scotland to be independent but doesn't live in Scotland, he lives in Spain. So I have to say, I think the Bond we've got now, I think is the best Bond we've ever had. I really do. I think I think Daniel Craig has got he's got that sort of kind of rugged good look. He's obviously worked out a bit, similar to myself. Got a similar kind of body. In the fact we have 2 arms and 2 legs. And so I kind of I think he's the best so far. Tom Hardy, would Tom Hardy make a good James Bond? Would he? Have I worked with David Jason? No, but I've not worked with David Jason, but I've met David Jason, and he is, again, one of the loveliest people you'd ever wish to meet. Really kind, just lovely, lovely man. Who's my favourite Doctor Who? Well, the trouble is, my Doctor Who was really... I can just about remember John Pertwee, but I think that's because he did... oh, crumbs, what was that show he did? A kids' show. It was kind of cult for everyone when I was at school. I think he played a scarecrow or something. I can't remember. Yeah, I guess probably, but I mean, one of my favourite actors is Peter Davison. I think he's brilliant. So probably him as well. I don't know. It's a difficult one. What about getting... oh, hang on. Stuart for Bond. Hey, my name's Bond. Stuart Bond. Now, I know you want to take over the world. And to be fair, as I'm tied up here with this saw gone between my legs, I'm shaking like a shitting dog. Wurzel Gummidge, that was it, James. See, James knows everything. Wurzel Gummidge. I think that's why I probably think it. Anyway, would you like to go to the Titanic? I'd love to go to the Titanic. Absolutely love to go down to the Titanic. I know everyone says you shouldn't pick stuff up, but yeah, why not? At the end of the day, why are we allowed to bring up other stuff from other things and just the Titanic people get upset with? I think it's. I just wish I had a piece of the Titanic. I'm hugely into sunken ships and stuff, but especially liners, and certainly that type. The Lusitania, that's got a personal connection. But stuff from the Olympic and the Mauritania and all of that, they're all sister ships of the Titanic. I met Danny Dyer. I've only met Danny Dyer very briefly, and again, I kind of. That's exactly right, Lucy. You couldn't put it better. I think I've heard lots of different reports about Danny. He's I've always kind of liked his movies and all of that. So I kind of, but he's. Some people say he's an absolute arrogant cock, and other people say he's a really lovely bloke. So I can't comment because it's I don't know him. And as I say, when I met him briefly, I couldn't pick any kind of thing up. I'd love to have met these two, though. Wouldn't you love to have met these two? No. I mean, they just want to make you laugh looking at them. Never, ever, ever get comedians like these ever again. Ever. Ever. Did I meet Roger Moore? No, but do you know what? I'm oh, crying out loud, I'm forgetting names like crazy. It must be my age. Joan Collins. We went to Joan Collins' house in London, and we were, and it was just funny because she took a call from Roger Moore when we were there, and it was the funniest thing. It's just the funniest thing. You've got these hugely famous stars. You've got Joan Collins in this beautiful flat. Which must cost millions, and just all you can hear on the other end. Lovely. Did you see Peaky Blinders? Is it Cillian or Killian Murphy for James Bond? It'd be a good James Bond, I think. But the trouble is, he's tough, but I think he's a little bit. I don't know. He's not as rugged as we need. Not as rugged as we need. I think. I don't know Tom Hardy would do it. I mean, he's got a hugely successful career outside of James Bond, I think. But yeah, two Ronnies, absolutely brilliant. And actually, I shouldn't have said what I said earlier. I said that the last great comedians in Britain of duos like that were Morecambe and Wise, but the two Ronnies, I think they went on slightly longer than Morecambe and Wise, and the two Ronnies were hugely famous. I mean, Ronnie Barker. Had the pleasure of meeting him with Yvette at some BBC do, and what just an amazing thing. We were talking with a couple of people, and he was literally just about 10 foot away, and he goes, "Oh, I'd love to say hello to him." And this lady said, "Why don't you?" And she said, "I've just been a fan of his for so long." She said, "No, I just wouldn't know what to say," and he'd think I was weird. And this lady said, "No, we won't. Go and ask him." She said, "Well, how do you know?" She said, "Because he's my husband." So she calls him over, and she said to him, she said, "I've been a fan of yours." Oh, he said, she said, "I've admired you for years." And he looked her up and down and he said, "And I've been admiring you for the last 10 seconds. As quick as you like." Absolutely fantastic. Jason Statham for... Do you know what? Jason Statham, I don't know. He's rugged enough. But, name's Bond. James Bond. Mark Strong as James Bond. Then Mark Strong would be a good James Bond. How old do you think James Bond should be? Well, that's another one, because I think... Have I ever visited Graceland? No. I haven't. Not yet. Crap actor, though. Yes. Kenny Everett. What, for James Bond? 40s. 50. Because how old is Daniel Craig? Is he... I think he's in 55, is he 56? I mean, that's good going for the man. Goodies were brilliant, yeah. Obviously, we just lost, was it Graham Garden or Tim Brooke Taylor we just lost? He's in his 50s. Yeah, I was just wondering. Danny Dyer is a lord. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about. I kind of think about Fred for James Bond. I can imagine him running down the road with a fucking Zimmer frame trying to find someone. Anyway, getting an electric car. Yeah, I reckon they should be in their 40s. James Bond. I really do. James Bond should be in 40. Cuban Heels Bond. My name is Heels. Cuban Heels. He's 52. I thought he was older than that. Okay, well, he's doing all right then. Accrington Court 2 is kicking off. Now, don't forget, we actually got the... we've got cameras up at Accrington, live cameras, and apparently it's kicking off on camera 2. Watch the numbers of this die down now as everyone jumps up for that. How's it look? Tim Brooke Taylor, was that who recently died? That's a shame because huge comedy genius. Clive Owen. Really? Oh, do you know what? I think I remember that. See, I think he would have made a good James Bond. No, Joaquin Phoenix for James Bond. No. The thing is, and I'm not being Englishist, I just think he's got to be an Englishman. I really do. I know they were talking about having a female James Bond. I mean, clearly you can't have a female James Bond. But what they can do is add another character and have a female equivalent to James Bond. And I think that would be fantastic. Yeah, I think, Clive Owen, he's got to be getting on for 60 now, hasn't he, Clive Owen? Must be. And I think, bearing in mind, Gerard Butler's getting on a bit. He must be in his 50s. I don't know. Gillian Anderson for Jane Bond. Yeah, why not? Marvel or DC characters, which are the best? Do you know what? I've never watched a Marvel or DC movie. It's not my kind of thing. So I couldn't even tell you who they are. I really couldn't tell you who they are. I just think Idris Elba is too old now. And I just don't think he's right. I'm not a huge fan of his work, to be fair. But anyway, that's just me. Julie Andrews. Oh, no. I agree, Julie. Love Andrew. Sorry, I thought you meant Julie Andrews for James Bond. Chloe. I want Julie Andrews for James Bond. Prince Philip for James Bond. Yeah, that would be good. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Ross Kemp for Bond. Oh, please, no. No. Please, no. No. Who's the worst person who you could think would be James Bond? Just tell me who you think the worst person could possibly be for James Bond. Just tell me the worst. Apart from Julie Andrews. Noel Edmonds. Crying out loud. Donald Trump as James Bond. Ross Kemp. Mr. Bean as James Bond. Crumbs, it's all going nuts. Boris Johnson for James Bond. Johnny Bakers for James Bond. Oh, I love Julie. Julian Clary for James Bond would be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, God. Oh, Julian Clary. My name's Bond. James Bond. Oh, fucking great. Bless you, Rhonda. Bless you. Frank Spencer. Betty, I got a loaded gun and I'm not afraid to use it. Diane Abbott as Blofeld. That would work. Richard Madeley for Bond. Do you know Richard Madeley? I used to like Richard Madeley. I used to think he was nice. But when Yvette was in the jungle, he said she needs to slap me in the face with a wet fish. And, me being a man that doesn't believe in violence to women, I had a little issue with that. And they did ask me if I wanted to go on on morning TV and answer it. But I did say to them, because he threatened to hit my wife, I would on live television stand up and ask if he wanted to hit me first. Because I think anyone who thinks it's right to hit a woman with anything is a dick. So they said probably better not if I went on there. So Richard Madeley, I'm sure you'll want to apologise for that, and you may not have meant it the way it was, but you did insult my wife, and I'll let you know about it when I next meet you, which we'll probably meet at some point, because we're buying a house not far from yours. I'd have bloody smacked him around the chops. Well, I'm not a violent man, but when it comes to somebody threatening my wife, hitting her with anything, unfortunately, I kind of changed him. James May would be a great James Bond. Do I still do martial arts? Yes, I do. I train. I always make sure I train every day to some degree. Tom Hiddleston for James Bond. Now there's one. Tom Hiddleston for James Bond would be good. And Peter Kay, wouldn't Peter Kay make a great villain? Because he's a brilliant actor anyway. And to make that step from that, he's known as a comedian, to that would be brilliant. Stuart, the most indecisive agent I've ever. Right, okay. Right. Now, I've got to shoot someone. I don't know who. Right, do I load my gun or do I not? It's funny, I did think at one point, I'd love to do James Bond. Wouldn't you? Just, God, what a great thing to have actually say to your grandkids, I was James Bond. Brilliant. You know, Elvis had a samurai sword. Did he? They're called katanas. You know, it's the long one's called a katana. You got a tanto, wakizashi. A tanto's a small one. A wakizashi's a middle one, and then there's the long one. Joe Pasquale or Normal Wisdom. Do you know, I worked with Normal Wisdom. One of the first things I ever did in TV was a Thames telethon, and I was looking after, you know, as a runner, and I was looking after Normal Wisdom. And do you know what? What an absolute pleasure. He was just so funny, and he's a huge legend and still so very funny. And I remember him just giving to me this Rolex, this diamond encrusted Rolex. Must have been worth tens of thousands of pounds. He went, put that in your pocket. You put that in your pocket. Don't lose it. I had this thing worth tens of thousands of pounds in my pocket as a young man, thinking, shit, I hope I don't break this. Lovely guy. Lovely guy. You met Shirley. You met Normal Wisdom. He was a lovely guy. I think I thought what his family did to him was wrong. I think he didn't want he didn't want to sell his car. He didn't want to leave his house and go to a home. And I think his family pushed him into that. And I think that was very sad. I really do. I'm just not. If Gordon Ramsay was James Bond, it would be the first time I actually wanted Bond to lose. I find the man to be a complete prune. What's the last book you read? And what's your favourite genre? That's a good point. The last book I read. You see, the problem is with me is I'm not a huge reader. I'm a bleeder, and a bloody big bleeder. But I can't sit down and just go through a book. I mean, I read a fair few, but it's not something I look forward to doing. I think the last one was probably Past Forgetting, which was Peter Cushing's autobiography, which was great. I have to be really interested in the subject. I can't sit and, so I think, to answer your question, it was Peter Cushing, Past Forgetting, and it's probably factual would be, I think. So I like anything to do with history. Again, things like ships and all of that. I can sit down, but that's more kind of more research, I guess, than anything else. Will I be selling? What was that? Will I be selling? Will I be selling a current house to buy a second home? Well, no, we're not. We'll always keep this house. I mean, we've got other homes anyway. We're lucky to have places. We just, no, we're not going to sell this house. What do you think of gay and trans people? I think as long as they're happy, they should be free to do whatever they want and be whoever they choose to be, without the fear of ridicule, without the fear of being hurt, without the fear of being made to feel that they're not a part of society. They are beautiful human beings, as we all are, and everyone should be able to be who they want, when they want, and how they want. That's the only way they're going to be happy, and we should be happy for them. I have an awful lot of respect for people who come out and say that, especially if they want to change who their sex. If they're a male, they become female. If they're female, they become male. If they're, I think it's. I don't think the coming out as gay is as difficult as it used to be, obviously. But I think, when you want to change your body, I've got huge respect for these people, because, it's something that they have a deep desire within themselves to be. And why can't everyone should be who they are? Yeah, we should take away labels. We will always have some prejudice exists because we label everything. And if I have a friend who I think is female, then find out that they're a transgender, or they used to be male, or whatever it is you want to call them, my friendship would be no different, because they're the person that I liked and like to talk to. If we stop giving people labels, just be who you bloody want to be, and stop. We can't judge people, and that's the trouble. We give people labels, and as long as labels exist, prejudice will exist. If we could just be accepted, every single one of us, as human beings in one world, and that's all we are. We are one set of human beings. We're all different, but we're all the same. The one thing that unites every man, woman, and child on this planet is the search for happiness. The one thing that divides us is how we find it, and that's the only things about life. We are all the same. So just be happy, be yourself, be who you want to be. Sorry, I've thrown that out there. Got a bit. We haven't got the right to judge anyone. Obviously, apart from if you're a judge, then you've got the right to judge who's in the dock. Darren impersonation, please. If I did a Darren impersonation, it'd just be running away. Actually, I'm doing the Darren impersonation. It'd just be running away. So, Darren's very much he's like it on everything. Darren's scared of everything. Scared of opening letters. he's scared of opening doors. Anyway, bless him. I like Darren as well. I've known Darren for crumbs. How long have I known Darren? I've known Darren for about, I suppose now, 16, 17 years. Yeah, we had offices in the same... no, he didn't. He came to see me first from his offices, and then we had offices in the same sort of building. But yeah, I've known him for years. Really nice guy. Any plans to upload? Well, yeah, the trouble is we would love to. We all of those shows we don't own. We only own all the shows that are on Really and beyond, and moving forward. All of the lives and everything are owned by Sky now. Used to be Living, but obviously it got bought by Sky. So I know, Robert, you're shouting now, but yes. So, I think, and I don't know why they didn't upload Gettysburg, because that was a brilliant one, and that was one where we introduced Frank Spock. Gettysburg was. And that was where I proved Frank's box to be not to be what it claimed to be. Anyway, that was. Is anyone from the past most haunted episode you'd like to bring back? No. God, have you got anything else you can show us on most haunted channel? Yeah, we are doing so. Obviously, we've had a yeah, we're like everyone else. We haven't been able to film because we've been in lockdown, and I know we could have done. You know, we could have gone out and cheated and said we did this before or whatever. But that's not really what I'm about. You know, I'm a sort of honour, and it wouldn't be fair if everyone else is in lockdown. We should all be in lockdown, and we should all abide by what the government says, because that's the only way we're going to get through this. And like I say, you know, unfortunately, I wonder how many in the last couple of weeks, how many people on those demonstrations have got the virus, and there will be some, and will have spread it to other people and potentially killed some of those other people. And I think that is very careless of them to do that, because life is very precious. And so I think, yeah, that's why we haven't done it. But we are hoping to be able to start doing some things now, because we've been allowed to do. Obviously, Yvette and I can go and do some stuff, and hopefully we can get some other people involved at a distance. So that's good. Hi, Karl. Gail from Leeds. Well said. My eldest is transgender, but who cares? He's happy and well. He's happy and well, and that's all that matters. Do you know, Glenn? Do you know, Gail? You're on Glenn's thing, but Gail, that's exactly. You've just nailed it on the head. If they're happy, who gives a shit? Our job as parents is to just make sure our kids are happy. Well, two things. One, we teach them to stand on their own 2 feet, and that they're happy. That if they can do that, their life is fantastic. You know, they can make all the right decisions in their life. It doesn't care if they wear fucking jeans or a skirt or a blue top or a red top. Who gives a crap? As long as they're happy. I always said when Yvette and I were bringing up our kids, and Yvette said, what would you think if any of them turned out gay? And I said, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. Whoever their partners are, whether they're same sex, opposite sex, or transgender, whatever, if they treat them well, they'll be my friend. If they treat my kids appallingly, then they won't be my friend. And that's as pure and simple as it can possibly be. And we, you know, and since everyone is somebody's kid, why can't we all? We've been down this road, but we know we should just treat everyone with love. And if we could learn to do that, this world would be a fantastic, wonderful place, as it should be. It really should be. Are there any new equipment you'll be trying to feature on my Haunted Investigator? Yes, we are. We've been developing some stuff, and we'll be showing those soon. We'll be showing those soon on the next. I'm sensing a presence. Is anyone there? Is anyone? I'm sensing something over this side of me in the background. Is anyone there? No, they've gone. They've gone now. They've gone. I thought. Over here, I thought there was someone there. But they've got. No, I'm getting over here now. I'm getting over here. Oh, hello. Woof, woof, ding dong. Say no more. Right, so, how is everyone? Right, now, let's have a look. Yvette, how are you? How is Yvette? I think Yvette's fine. If Yvette is fine, she should touch me on the nose. Or I touched myself on the nose. Here you go. Ow. Hang on. Your family is so awesome for giving us these chats. Look forward to it. I want to adopt you all. That's from Alex. Alex, I'm up for adoption. Alex, I am up for adoption, mate. Yeah. Yvette, sing us a song. Oh, hello. Sorry. Oh, woof, woof, ding dong. Woohoo! Chink, woofy, diffy, doo-doos. Look, they want you to sing for them. She'll tap for you on there. Okay, Karl, last question from tonight, from last night's Mary Spell. Can I help? Most haunted to tell her she's very pretty. I will, Michael. I'll tell her she's very pretty. I think she's very pretty too. But I'll tell her, Michael. She's got an itch. Oh, hang on. She's got an itch at the bottom of my chin. There you go. Ow, 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 ow. I'll tell her that, Michael. I'll tell her you said that. I'll tell you said 2 knocks for yes, 1 knock for no. I sent a message about coming to Australia. Any chance? We'd love to come to Australia, and we are in talks. And if we can get the budgets, we will come to Australia. Now, Dawn Butcher is saying, get the beard off. Oh, look, where you go? You can't just come along and do that. You're right, Gorge?
Yeah.
There's lots of people saying hello to you. I'll keep the beard, keep the beard, keep the beard. We use those to look at the birds that are nesting in the little box. Not in the box. Not in the veg box, in the box up there on the tree. What are you doing?
It's not working.
It's probably a little bit close.
What? It's not you, look. Hello, everyone.
Oh, what's happened?
I don't know, see?
Eh?
Yeah.
Oh, something's done something wrong with these. Oh, hang on, there's this dark. No, that's not right.
We died.
That's not good, is it? Oh, no, that's not good. Let's do it that way.
No, that's the wrong way.
Yeah, but if you could see him...
No, that doesn't, no.
Oh,
Don't
right.
be silly. The night, people. Are you coming to bed soon?
I'll be up in a second.
We need to watch New Tricks.
We
And
watch
I'd
New
like-
Tricks.
I'd like a hot toddy, please.
I'll bring up a hot
I
toddy.
don't want it to be so it's like in a glass or in half. I want you to fill a cup. You know my cup
fill a
and
cup?
You know my cup and saucer?
Laurie is saying she loves us. Do you know what?
Oh, hi,
you know,
Laurie.
We love you too.
Can I have it in a normal cup, my cup and saucer?
Yes.
Fill it up to the top.
And he comes with... what was it was Murder Case, wasn't it? The Lauren Hardy movie. James Rendell says so. And I'm not
Yeah.
questioning you, Jane. I'm not questioning you.
No, it's right, Murder Case. Well done, James. The funniest bloody thing ever.
Oh, Joanna was on New Tricks. Which episode, series, and because we've kind of...
It's all right. It's okay. Doesn't really matter if you're old and grey. It's all right. It's okay. I sang.
She said I'm old and grey.
Well, you're not old.
Wow. Dawn Butcher says I will get loads of sex if I get rid of the beard. Are you offering, Dawn? Well, I certainly won't get it from the missus.
Goodbye. Don't be late.
I won't.
Oh, will you let the dogs out? Will you let the dogs out?
Welcome to an evening at Karl and Yvette's house.
Don't forget the
Yes,
dogs.
I'll let the... See, Laura's now saying sheep. I have no idea what that is. JJ, yeah, it was really good. Enjoyed it, actually. I'm going to do it again. But what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to see if I can run some power down there so I can keep... I'd like to keep the phone going most of the time if I can. Because I don't have internet down there. But it'd be great if I could keep the phone running as much as I can. Right, Simon is saying, I have a big gay following with a bit too, with a bit. Do I? Well, that's lovely. If you know any, please say hi back to any of the gay followers there, because so what he's saying is they're preferring it with it on, or do they want it off? Do they want to have it on, or do they want to have it off? That's what I need to know. Hi all from Alabama. Look out for the spider. What fucking spider? The good thing is, you see, spiders, USB power banks might help. Good idea, Paul. Good idea. Look, I've been cut my finger today. Good. I've been working outside again badly. You see, spiders and stuff don't bother me at all. To beard or not to beard? That is the question. Whether 'tis noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against the sea of trouble and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep no more. Something else, I don't know. To beard, get rid of it. Ooh. Angela, that's very direct. Get rid of it. You like that in the bedroom? Get down there. Get on your knees. Get your clothes off. I don't know why I've said that. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Get some power banks. Yeah, I will do, actually. I am so crap with technology. Do whatever you want, baby. You're great. Thanks, Dawn. And you're great too. Yeah, power bank charges. You know what? I didn't even think of that, and I thought that's a great idea. I am going to do that. I am going to do that. Dye the beard. He calmly did. Laura, you just hit the nail on the head. Yes. I like the idea of that. Keep the tash. Gee, I look even more of a Burke than I already do if I just had a tash. Or I could just have a tash and finish it. Anyway, look. Oh, Yvette Fielding's down again. Hello, darling. You forgot your phone? Oh, bless her. She's just walking back. I hate for her to go, but I love to watch her leave. What are you doing now? I love you too. Right. You could curl the ends around on your tash. Yeah, I was kind of trying to...
That's coming off tonight.
It's kind of almost there, isn't it? Here we go. Right. Save the tash. I missed a word. It save the tash. Was it save the tash? It would be so gay. Do you think it would? Do you think that would be cool? But should I have it down here or should I just save the tash? I don't know. Born tash. Right. Well. Right. Rather being dirty and assertive in the bedroom, I prefer M&S to S&M. Yep, I know where you're coming from, love. I know where you're coming from, love. How can a kiss a beard? It pricks your face. Yeah, but does it tickle anywhere else? That's the question. Back from when you were filming in the General at Southampton, or did... Oh, sorry, hi, Karl. Back from when you were filming the General, or did your live episode in Portsmouth, did they come across anywhere else locally you would like to film? There's loads of places in Portsmouth I'd love to, in Southampton, I mean, and also in Portsmouth. But Southampton's got some great places. I mean, it bombed to crap in the Second World War. And there's so many great places with so many good stories. So I'd love to do some stuff in there. Right, well, I'm going to have to say goodnight because Mrs. Beattie is upstairs and I need to make her a hot toddy. I'll say good night to everyone. Thanks so much for joining. I really have. It's been a great night, and thanks very much for spending it with me. Give me your time. It's been lovely. I really do appreciate it, and loads of love to you all. And I do absolutely love every single one of you. And speak to you all again next week, unless, of course, I'm down in that an impromptu doodah down in the Jeopardy up, because I might do that because I quite enjoyed the last one. If I can get some power doodahs, I'll do some more. Anyway, loads of love to you all, and yeah, good night. Good night, everyone.